The Eagles take on the Buccaneers on Monday Night Football, the battle of 2-0 teams, and the Eagles, who look to try to get on track, might have just caught a huge break as we get late-breaking injury news from the Buccaneers. Dallas still stinks. You're by Do It, King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. It is Football Friday. It is almost time for the Eagles to take on the Bucs in a battle of 2-0 teams, but I don't even care about that. I want this team buried. I want to bury them. Do you know they're having a Rondé Barber celebration, Hall of Fame, whatever, and you know they're going to show the replay of the NFC Championship game of him returning that interception? I don't want to see it. I never want to see it again. Matter of fact, I hope the Eagles send this team into oblivion. Just send them, destroy them, crush them. I want to play. Let me get a helmet on. Let me get out. I'll run through the wall. Just put me in. I want to play against this team. Hate this team. Yeah, you know, they're going to have the Rondé Barber thing, and it's pissing me off that I'm going to have to see stupid replay. They better not show it on TV because I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. It's going to piss me off. There's no game that I have never recovered from worse than that NFC Championship with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we got to go out and we got to beat this team. Not to mention, they're the last playoff team. They beat us. They beat the crap out of us when we played them a few years ago. I want this team. I want this team legless when we're done. Now, before we get into all of it, if you're new to the channel and like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most startled pause Eagles content creator in all of the internet. If you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you so much for all the support you give to me. It means a lot, and I'm fired up today. I am. I can't stand that Rondé Barber is going to be having his little Hall of Fame celebration thing when they play the Eagles. Of all the times when he plays the Eagles, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that on Monday night. I don't want them to show that replay. It makes me sick. It makes me sick. All right? So, we'll see what happens. But I hope the Eagles bury this team. And I got to tell you, I know the point spread's like 5 and it has gone down. And everybody's saying, dude, the Buccaneers. They're so great. You know, they might be better than you think. Do I look like I'm scared? Do I look like I'm scared of that team? I ain't scared of that team. We're going to send them to oblivion. Whatever Mike Tyson says. We're going to send them to oblivion. That's what we're going to do. I want that team legless when we're done. You know, that Rondé Barber thing, I can't tell you how that pisses me off. But, you know, everybody's talking about how the Buccaneers are a way better team than we thought. It's going to be a tough game. And I don't know, listen, I'm not saying it won't be a tough game. It could be. But I also think that Buccaneers have way overachieved, all right? And we might have caught a big break because they're late breaking with their injury report, the Buccaneers. They got some problems. And we could get into it, right? Let's talk about the Eagles injury report first, all right? So here's the Eagles injury report today. You have did not practice, Terrell Edmunds illness, Quez Watkins hamstring. So you can figure Watkins ain't playing. He ain't giving you nothing. He ain't giving you nothing again. Terrell Edmunds will probably play. Then you have linebacker Zach Cunningham, ribs. Everybody's got ribs problem. What is going on with the ribs? Is Mark Holmes going around hitting these guys with his hammer at his red brick house in the ribs? Why do we have so many guys with rib injuries? I don't get it. But Zach Cunningham, rib injury, limited practice. Jordan Davis, ankle. We saw that happen when it happened. Limited practice. I assume he's going to go. Boston Scott, concussion. We'll see. He was limited practice. Devontae Smith, hamstring thigh. From everything that I've heard about this is way more precautionary than anything else. So I expect Devontae Smith to be able to roll. Tight end Jack Stahl, ankle. Josh Sweat, a big-ass toe. It's always the big-ass toes. He's limited practice. Then you have safety Reed Blankenship, cornerback James Bradbury, Fletcher Cox, and Gainwell full practice. So 4 of those guys right there are going to go. We're going to see Gainwell play. As far as the limited practice, I think most of these guys go. I could see a situation where Boston Scott doesn't. I don't know if Zach Cunningham. I don't know how bad his ribs are, but man, it's scary with the linebacking situation because every time you have a linebacker, Cunningham is hurt, Dean is hurt. I mean, it's like we don't have any depth there. We really got to do something about that. We do. So I expect most of those guys to play. The biggest name I think that you'll see won't play is going to be Quez Watkins. Now as far as the Buccaneers go, I think they got some injury problems developing late in the week here. So you have Kalijah Cansey didn't practice, Dennis didn't practice. You think I'm going to try to say his first name? You're crazy. Then limited participation. You have Cody March, Vita Vea, Devin White, and Carlton Davis. Now here's the thing: March and White are they showed up on the injury report today. Like, this was a late injury report for them to show up on. And Devin White groin could be a huge problem for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Groin is one of those things like hamstring. Like, man, sometimes that thing just lingers on. You can't play at full speed. You go full speed, you could re-injure it. That may be a major problem. If they don't have Devin White, and let's say Vita Vea, I think they're going to have problems. Carlton Davis is another issue. He's a pretty good corner when he plays. I'm not sure he's going to play. I think there's a chance that some of those guys may not play, which would be huge for the Eagles, especially Devin White. I really think that would be a big loss because you know what's going to happen when the Eagles offense goes up against the Buccaneers defense. The Buccaneers are very good against the run, and a lot of that has to do with White and Vea, okay? But also, Todd Bowles brings the heat. You know Todd Bowles, the school of Jim Johnson. He is going to try to confuse Jalen Hurts. He is going to try to bring blitzes. He is going to try to bring things that he doesn't recognize. I'll be honest with you. I really like it. I like the style of defense that Todd Bowles runs. I definitely do. So you're going to see, we're going to see what Hurts can do here. I think the Eagles it's going to be a challenge to run the ball. Will they go with DeAndre Swift? Will they give him opportunity, or are they going right back to Kenneth Gainwell? I know that they said they're going to go with the hot hand. We're going to go with the hot hand. We're going to go with the hot hand. We'll see. We'll see. But it's going to be interesting because if those guys are hurt, especially if White is hurt, I think that's a problem. And Carlton Davis is another guy. If he's hurt, that's a problem. You look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. I think it's very hard to judge what happened because the Chicago Bears offense stinks. I mean, they're not using their guys right. There's a lot of problems over there in Chicago. So what can we really take out of it? I know the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 6 sacks versus the Chicago Bears, but how much stock do we put in? The Buccaneers are that good, or the Bears just stink that much? We don't know. I expect it to be. I expect their defensive line and their front to give us problems. I expect the blitz to confuse us at times, and maybe Jalen Hurts takes off with his legs. However, I still think the Eagles, and I've never seen the Eagles really have a problem running the ball when they decide they want to run the ball. So I think they'll be able to do it. But where I think personally that you can really attack the Buccaneers is through the passing game. I think the passing game, you have a great opportunity. If you look at what the Vikings, the week before the Bears, a team that can pass the ball, you look what they did against the Bucs. They threw all over the Buccaneers. And if Carlton Davis isn't playing, that's going to hurt them more. I think this is a A.J. Brown monster game. I think A.J. Brown's going to go out. I think he's going to have a monster game. I'm saying 8 catches, $140. 8 catches, $140. I think he's going to have a big game. I think there's going to be opportunity for Dallas Goedert to have a pretty decent game, especially we'll have to see what's going on with Devin White. That Devin White injury, from what I heard, what it sounds like, is that showed up late just today on the injury report, and we don't know how severe it is. So got to keep an eye on that. But I think the Eagles can move the ball through the air versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they'll be able to run when they need to run. And I think the Eagles will score points. I think this is another good opportunity for the Eagles to go out there and actually start getting the running backs in involved. I think if Todd Bowles is going to blitz, if he's going to come and bring pressure, you'll have opportunities where you could run screens to like DeAndre Swift and it'll go for big yards. So there will be opportunities, and I think that the Eagles offense, I think this is an opportunity for them to get going. I really felt like if you look at the second half of the game, week 2 versus the Vikings, I thought that they started to kick off some of that rust in the third quarter, and a lot of it had to do with the success of that running game. I think that this game, I don't think you're going to have 175 yards on the ground like you did a week ago. I think you're going to win through the air, and I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a better game, and I think there will be opportunities for him to pass the ball. I think there will be opportunities to go downfield because I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to bring pressure. They're going to try to confuse him with pressure, and it should be an interesting matchup between Jalen Hurts and what they do and what Todd Bowles is going to do. Now, as far as the Eagles' defense goes, this is where I think the Eagles are going to have a good opportunity. I don't think the Buccaneers are scared. They don't scare me with their run game. Rashad White, he's he's been all right, but nothing that scares me too much. The Eagles have been excellent against the run. He can be used in the pass, and of course, the big guy for the Buccaneers is Mike Evans. Mike Evans has been an absolute stud, and he continues to go out there and play really good. So the Eagles are going to have their work cut out for them. Are they going to let Slay shadow him around? I don't know. They do not seem to like to do that. But Mike Evans is going to be a problem. And I think you have to watch Godwin. Because Godwin, especially in the slot, especially in the middle of the field, he may be able to make plays. Now, he hasn't been all that impressive so far this season. But he may be, this may be the game they're looking to get him involved, especially over the middle of the field, because that's where they're going to attack the Eagles. You're going to constantly see teams attack the Eagles through the middle of the field. That's what they want to do. Go out there and attack the Eagles' middle field. Now you have Cunningham with a hurt rib. You have Dean is already out. So that's what they're going to do. Now, at least we get Blankenship back. I would like the Eagles to get out there and use Sidney Brown, okay? Also, one of the things that has been a surprise so far is Baker Mayfield. He's playing very well. I don't think he's turned over the ball yet. And one of the other things that's been a surprise is that offensive line has held up so far. They've done a pretty good job in giving him time to throw. Well, guess what? I think all that ends this week. I think he's going to have a problem. I think that line's going to have a problem, especially if they lose one of their guards. And I expect the Eagles' defensive line to dominate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' offensive line. I think they're going to get to Mayfield, and I think it's going to cause Mayfield to throw the ball when he doesn't want to, and he's going to do Baker Mayfield things and turn the ball over. That's what I think. I think the Eagles are going to have a few turnovers this week. They've been pretty good with the turnovers so far this year. I think that continues. I look for Hassan Reddick. I did a video. I guess everybody thinks, according to my video, everybody thinks Hassan Reddick is good to go. When all week all I heard was panic. Now everybody seems like they've settled down about that. Great. Hassan Reddick's about to have 2 sacks in this game. He's going to go off. I think he's going to cause a fumble. And I think the Eagles' defense, I think the Eagles' pressure in their front will be more effective than the Buccaneers' pressure and their front is going to. The Buccaneers are going to come at the Eagles and blitz them. But when they do that, there will be opportunities for A.J. Brown downfield, for Devontae Smith downfield, and I think the Eagles are going to make big plays against the Buccaneers defense, and then I think the pressure that they're going to put on Mayfield will force him into making mistakes. So when I look at this game and how I see this thing turning out, I think the Eagles are going to win. I think it'll be close for a while, and I think the end of the night, everybody is going to be talking about the point spread because it was only 5. It went down. Well, the Eagles are going to win 31-21. That's the final score I have. I think the Eagles, even though it's a good defense, and I know it is, the Eagles are going to put up 31 points. I think they're going to make big plays this week. This is where I think Jalen Hurts and that passing game gets going. I think the opportunities with the blitzes that will be coming most likely from the Buccaneers will give the Eagles an opportunity for big plays. I think the Eagles win 31-21. I see this being a situation where you're probably, in the fourth quarter, it's 24 21, and the Eagles blow it open with a big play to A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. I really think that A.J. Brown is going to have a monster game. Remember, I will be streaming this game. I would love to know your guys' score in the comment section, so show me. And I'll be streaming this game Monday night, of course. Going to be streaming the Cowboys on Sunday, and I'm probably leaning towards doing Washington-Buffalo doubleheader. So Washington-Buffalo, and then Dallas, Arizona, and then, of course, the Eagles Monday night. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Help the algorithm. They're always trying to throttle me, bend me over, and throttle me. Pause. So help a man out, and yeah, let's go. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. Now, as far as the other games go, Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals, I expect the Cowboys to dominate the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are the worst team in the league. I know they lost Trevon Diggs. Horrible loss for the Dallas Cowboys. It's not going to affect them this game. I really don't think it's going to affect them this game. Arizona, they should blow them out, which is part of the reason why I want to do that Washington game. Because Washington, a lot of people are saying they're the real deal. They're the real deal. Sam Howell's the real deal. He's the real deal. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I know that week one, they should have lost to Arizona. Arizona gave them that game. And I know the Broncos had many chances to win that game too, and they couldn't close it out. So I think that Washington's getting an absolutely great test versus the Buffalo Bills. And if Washington beats them, then I'll say they're for real, because I think this is a good test and to find out what Washington is all about. But I'm still going to go with the Buffalo Bills to beat Washington this week. So you'll have the Eagles 3-0. You have Cowboys 3-0. You have Washington 2-1. And the Giants 1-2 when it's all said and done this Sunday, Monday night. Just my thoughts. Denzel Washington out.